So is the Chancellor's autumn statement good or bad for business? Hello, I'm Dominic Walker. Welcome to JMW's Inside Man YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and keep the conversation going in the comments section as well. So my guest is Rebecca Beech. Rebecca is a solicitor within JMW's corporate law department. So Rebecca, what are the important aspects that businesses need to know about the autumn statement?
So I want to talk about 6 key things, starting with business rates. Obviously, there's a cost of living crisis going on at the moment, which is affecting everyone, particularly businesses, personally for people as well. But when we're discussing in line with businesses, there's the rise of cost in energy bills. This is in relation to whether a business has a premises or whether they have manufacturing equipment, for example. It's an added extra cost for a business. So to help aid this, the Chancellor's announced a £13.6 billion package to support business ratepayers in England, and in order to protect business ratepayers. The multiplier will be frozen from 2023 to 2024. And this relief will help 230,000 businesses across the UK, particularly retail, hospitality and leisure sectors. The second point that's quite important from the autumn budget is the increase in national minimum wage. So we've seen from the autumn statement that there will be a rise up to 10, so the national minimum wage will be up to £10.42, which is a 9.7% increase. Obviously that is going to be an added cost to sort of salary payroll for businesses, so it's something to just note for businesses as well and companies. The third thing I'd like to discuss is VAT, and while there isn't necessarily a change, the Chancellor will hold the threshold at which businesses must register to pay VAT at £85,000. This threshold is staying the same, but some small businesses are sort of seeing this as a stealth rate tax, so in line with costs rising, and they're just being added costs. You know, we just talked about salary and we just talked about energy costs, business rates. The smaller businesses are going to hit this sort of 85,000 threshold and then are going to have to start paying VAT, which I think some will find quite frustrating. We then have national insurance. So the threshold for employee national insurance contributions, again, this is just to note there's not exactly a change, but they'll be fixed until April 2028. And the employment allowance will continue to protect businesses from paying national insurance altogether. So again, not necessarily a change, but just something to note in the budget or in the autumn statement. And then obviously the big one for businesses is the rise in corporation tax. So we're currently at 19%, it's going up to 25%. We've been on a bit of a roller coaster the past sort of year and the past few months. Rishi Sunak in COVID-19, or as the impact of COVID-19 was that Rishi Sunak in March 2021 announced that corporation tax would be going up from 19% to 25% in order to help sort of support everything that was put in place for COVID. And then Liz Truss came in July and said it was going to be knocked back down and then it was going to go up. So it kind of went back and forth, but it has now been announced that it will be going up to 25%. But it is important to note that although it is going up to 25%, in 2010 it was at 28%. So it's not necessarily, it's obviously still a rise, but in 2010 it was at 28%. So it's not something massively significant to what we've seen in the past.
And I mentioned that you work within JMW's corporate law department, Rebecca. Many of your clients are shareholders. So what impact does this statement have on shareholders?
So there's a couple of points to discuss here. The first one being dividend allowance. So obviously if you're a shareholder of a business, you're most likely to pay yourself, or you could pay yourself through a salary, but you could also pay yourself through a dividend. The dividend allowance at the moment is at £2,000. This is going to be cut to £1,000 next year, and then a further £500 in April 2024. So that's kind of a significant sort of cut for dividend for people who are paying themselves a dividend, their allowance is being cut quite significantly there. And then there's also changes in relation to capital gains tax. So we know that when shareholders sell their businesses, they're subject to capital gains tax here. The exempt amount for capital gains tax is going to be cut significantly as well, sort of over 50%. And then it's going to be cut again in April 2024. So it's going down from 12,300 to 3,000 by April 2024. It is important to note that entrepreneurs relief was what it was formerly called, but now it is called business asset disposal relief, remains unchanged, which is good news for shareholders and those looking to sell their business.
Thank you for your insight, Rebecca. And if you'd like to contact Rebecca and the corporate law team here at JMW Solicitors, you can email insideman@jmw.co.uk or call 0161 82 81 999. Please also subscribe to the JMW Inside Man YouTube channel for the latest legal news, hints and tips. I'm Dominic Walker, JMW's Inside Man.